Hello. I need to show you how to take care of your silk screen. So let me just grab this. Each one of you has a silk screen like so. You can see that there is a screw right here. So this is a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So I'm just going to loosen it a little bit. So lefty-loosey. You guys can see that it does come apart then if you loosen it enough that the wood ring comes off. Then you have the silk for the silk screening, and then of course the bottom loop. So to put this back together again, I'm simply going to place the screen on top of the plain loop. This loop does not have a screw on it. This one does have the screw. And so this one is going to slide right over that other one. Let me set it flat on the table, make it a little bit easier for myself. There we go. And so these are connected. Now you can see that this silk is very loose. And so what I want to do is to pull it a little tight and then righty-tighty that screw back on. And I'm just pushing this wood down a little bit to make it even. And then I'm going to pull that screen to make it as tight as possible. Now you will have to do this a couple times. So I'm pulling that as tight as I possibly can. And then I'm even going back and righty-tightying a little bit more. Now, once I have this once this screen is nice and tight, you can see it's almost like a drum. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's almost like a drum. It's so tight. Then I'm ready to use a wooden pencil to draw my design on. You guys can see with a wooden pencil that it has that dull tip on it. I think it was Eli was asking the other day, it might have been Beijing, was asking, can you poke a hole through the screen? You absolutely can poke a hole through the screen. And so that's why we want to use this wooden pencil, regular number 2 pencil, and it has the dull tip. And so what I'm going to do is to take my design and I'm going to place it underneath the screen so that when I look through the screen, I can see the design. I just have some Muppets here. Yes, they are characters. No, Beijing, I'm not actually going to do them. This is just an example. No characters, right? So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm simply going to trace this right onto the silk screen. So you guys will see that I have the silk screen flat on the table. This is as opposed to doing it this way. If I try to draw on the silk screen this way, it's going to pucker and I'm not going to have that tight drum anymore. So you guys can see how the wood is being held. So this is going to go flat on my desk and I can just kind of angle the camera. Whoops. If I drop it a little bit, there we go. So if I hold it like this, you guys can see how it's sitting flat on the table. I have my little Muppets right underneath it, and then I can just use my pencil to trace this design. Now, once I have my design drawn out, then that is when I am going to use the Mod Podge. And so I'm going back over to this example now. You guys can see that I do have the pencil lines already drawn. And so I'm going to take the Mod Podge and I'm going to use different size brushes and I'm going to paint the Mod Podge wherever I don't want the ink to go. So here I've chosen a fairly small brush. And so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go right along those lines very, very carefully, because once there is Mod Podge on here, there's no taking the Mod Podge off. So you want to be sure to get a nice layer of Mod Podge wherever you don't want the ink to go. This will need to dry overnight. And then, by golly, y'all know how I am with my paintbrushes. I need you to do a really good job cleaning these paintbrushes out, because remember that Mod Podge is glue. And so if you let this dry even for 1 minute, you will kill these poor little brushes. Please don't kill the brushes. We don't want to have any brush funerals this year. So do a really good job. Use the paintbrush as you need to, and then you need to rinse it out immediately. Please remember to squeegee. One more time. That's squeegee the bristles so that they stay nice and put together. So your goal today is to draw your picture, draw your design onto your silk. And then go ahead and Mod Podge it, nice thin layer, let it dry overnight. And that is what you need to get done today. Have fun, y'all. I'll see you Monday.